Does the person you are with encourage you to read? You have to ask, what does he bring for me? Roses or books? If someone has a stake in making you better, that person will push you towards books. Books are what we all need.
So good afternoon, sir. My question is, sir, nowadays we use YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, and other such short video platforms, and they are really shortening our attention span. So my question is, how can we use technology and media in such a way that it does not affect our attention span, and what are some ways to maximize it? Thank you, sir.
No, see, it is primarily not about the span of attention. The important thing is not really for how long you can hold your attention on an object. The important thing is what is the quality of the object you are attending to. And the nature of human consciousness is such that only very specific type of objects can really hold your attention for long. Let me go a little deeper into it. You see, our mind, our consciousness is constantly searching for something. Getting it? Man is the name of a lifelong craving. We are continuously a longing. And the world is full of infinite objects, and we do not know those objects. Therefore, we keep approaching those objects one after the other incessantly all our life in the hope that our internal longing will come to rest through one of those objects. That's why we are constantly restless. That's why we are constantly trying, experimenting, knocking at one door after the other. Getting it? Now, that is the reason why the short format, the short video format in social media has been inevitable. And since it has arrived over the last few years, it has been more successful than the longer formats. Because the audience, without even knowing it, in an unconscious way, is looking for something extraordinary. Now, if you give them a 30-minute piece to watch, by the second or third minute, it is anyway clear that the thing that you are looking for is not going to be found in that long video. Right? So after the third minute, the audience will drop out. After the third minute, the audience will anyway drop out, because it has become clear that the video is not what your deepest self wanted. So how do the video makers, how do the so-called content creators cope with this? They said, we know that we cannot hold the audience anyway for more than 3 minutes. So we will give them just 1 minute of content. And then the danger of the audience running away reduces. And then the proportion of the video that has been watched improves. Because if you see, on an average, if people are watching 3 minutes out of 30-minute content. That is just 10%, right? The algorithm will record that the average duration viewed is just 10% of the video length. Whereas if you serve them just a 50-second thing, the audience will watch it for 30-40 seconds before they can make up their mind to drop out. Right? Even if you discover that the video is trash, still you would have spent a few seconds on the video, 10, 20, 30 seconds, something. So even if you spend 15 seconds on a 45-second short or reel or something, you have still watched 33% of the video length. Now this 33% is far better than the 10% that you watch on the long video. So this little thing gets more favorably ranked on the YouTube or Instagram algorithm, right? Do you see the fundamental reason? The fundamental reason is everybody, be it the long video creator, the short video creator, the movie maker, the Netflix maker, does not matter who he is, everybody knows that the content that you are serving does not have that touch of eternity in it. It does not have that all essential quality in it that can simply bind the viewer to the screen. So people are trying all kinds of tricks. They have to try these tricks because they are finding themselves unable to address the central problem. And the central problem, as I mentioned right in the first sentence today, is not the length of the attention span. The central problem is the quality of the object you are serving to your audience. Is the content worth it? If the content is worth it, then people can watch even for 1 hour, 2 hours, and any length does not matter. The epics have been so long lasting. And do you know the number of verses they contain? The number of verses run into scores of thousands. 10,000 verses, 20,000 verses, 40,000 verses, more than 1,00,000 verses. And yet they have been eternal and immortal. If you talk of the Vedas, the Rig Veda itself has 10,000 verses. Or if you go to Homer and talk of Iliad and Odyssey, again there the length of the work is so daunting. But still, it has been with the people and they have just loved it. So it's not that people are afraid of length really. People are just fed up of trash. Trash. And trash does not necessarily refer to production values. It does not really refer to how attractively, how lucratively you have packaged the whole thing. It refers to what is inside the package. It is the stuff that is inside the package, that's what I'm referring to as trash. What is the message you are delivering? What is the insight you are providing through your video? Is there something in the video that will give some relief to my otherwise tormented life? Be it a youngster, a man, a woman, a professional, a student, an old man, a Hindu, a Muslim, a rich man, somebody looking for a job. It does not matter. We all are missing something very essential in our life. Now, is your video or your story or whatever you have as an artist, is that able to provide me something that will fill up the hollow here in my chest? At the center of my existence is a big void, and it pains incessantly. if you are a video creator, you are an artist. If you're a painter or a storyteller, you are an artist. Do you have it in you? Does your art contain that beauty, that truth, that will bring some succor to my charred life? A few drops of relief to my parched existence. So that's the problem. And if you do not solve that problem, you'll find even 1 minute is too much. People will run away from you in 5 seconds. Because what you are bringing to them is just so repetitive and old and dull and boring. Within 5 seconds, people have begun to discover that the stuff being served is just a rehash of something old. Now the old thing itself was unable to provide any relief. What will this thing in the new package do? No hope. So one just scrolls away. And you hold your mobile phone like this, and with one thumb or one finger you are just scrolling away. Even 5 seconds is too much now. So that's the thing. Ours is an age of a very special kind of crisis, you see. There is a complete proliferation of all kinds of colorful objects all around. You want to buy a car, you will be flooded with choices. You specify a budget and 15, 25 kinds of models are available. You want to buy a shirt, n numbers of brands. You want to visit a place, so many options and so many tour travel operators. You want to eat, just look at the ever lengthening menu. The entire culinary expanse of the world is available on your table. So choices everywhere. That's what the industrial age has done, right? Go to Amazon. Does not matter what you want, it will be delivered at your doorsteps. People are truly empowered. So objects all around, and yet nothing that can satisfy you. I'm reminded of that beautiful poem. Water, water everywhere, but not a drop to drink. A lost ship in the middle of a vast ocean. Water, water everywhere, but not a drop to drink. That's our state. In the language of social media, you could say content everywhere, but not one video of relief. So instead of taking the issue head on, instead of discovering the root cause, as usual, we have relied more on trickery and cunningness and shortcuts. So we have said, okay, we will keep reducing the length of the video. We'll keep loading it with special effects. Look at the VFX content in movies these days. Why do you need that so much? Why? There is a reason. And unless you understand that reason, you will not understand the age you are living in. You will not understand the world. You will not understand your own life. Why so many filters are needed? There is a reason. And the reason is very important to know. You cannot have a video where you're just saying something important in a simple way. Because nothing important is being said at all. Trash is being served in innumerable avatars. And therefore you require all kinds of embellishments and filters and decorations, editing and effects and all the jazz. Getting it?
Yes, sir.
Is this making sense, or is this looking all very incoherent?
So it's related to the question and it provided a deep perspective. You were talking about trash, like there is a lot of trash in nowadays, media. So how to pick out, what is, not trash. And my question was, that when we try to focus on what's good, you know, so how much trash, has been fed to us? So much trash, so much amount of irrelevant videos have been, shown to us. So we find it really difficult to focus on what's really important. So I was talking about
Yes,
that
yes, yes, yes,
perspective.
yes, yes, yes. That's very important to ask. You see, before I can be able to sift the trash from the useful, I must know who I am, because all the usefulness will be to me. Before I can put my finger on a specific medicine or a food item, I must know what I need. Right? Before I can discover what is the kind of video content or content in literature or arts or anywhere I can pick for myself, I must know what I truly need. That's called self knowledge. Knowledge of yourself. When you know who you are, then you will be able to put all useless content aside. Not much thought will be needed then, and you will not be indecisive. You will immediately know that's the point I need to go to, because that's what I'm looking for. And when you do not know who you are, and therefore you do not know what you're looking for, all kinds of diverse options remain open and available and compelling to you. They all keep calling you, because you do not know what you want. See, you go to a supermarket and you have no idea what you have come there for. Can you imagine your condition? You will be standing in the center, and at that center you will be gawking at all kinds of shops, and no option will be available to be discounted. And have you not seen people saying, right, this is right, even that is right, and then even that is right, and then something else comes up, a fourth or fifth option, and that fellow says, well, no, even this thing sounds right. That's the condition of the commoner. Everything appears right, and nothing appears fully right. So there is no option that appears so absolutely right that you commit yourself to it. And there is no option that appears so obviously wrong that you totally discard it. So you remain in the middle of that super mall with options surrounding you from all sides. And you are unable to cross out any of the options. That's what is happening when you are scrolling through your shorts feed. You just do not know what is it that you want. So your entire night, 2 hours, 4 hours, you just keep watching everything. And have you seen how the algorithm performs? It serves you a mix of everything. And then it tries to see what is it that you spend more time on. And then it starts serving you more of that content. But it never serves you 100% of anything. It just keeps mixing and rotating. Because it knows fully well that you will be very soon bored out. Because you are not committed to anything. And that is all right. Because how do I commit to anything if I do not know that that thing is perfect for me? And before I can know what is perfect for me, I should know who I am, what I lack, where do I stand, what do I identify with, what do I therefore want. Our education, our upbringing, just do not impart any kind of self-knowledge to us. They do not even encourage us to give importance to self-knowledge, because self-knowledge is not really so much about memorizing something in a given book. A large part of the process of self-knowledge is just about observing your own life, thoughts, actions, emotions, relationships, all these things. So all that can be done internally in solitude, as a solo inquirer who wants to know himself. All that can be done. But only if, first of all, somebody points it out to us that self-knowledge is extremely important. That does not happen in the kind of system we are brought up and educated. So we just totally sit with yourself and ask yourself, what is truly important for me? And it's not that you will not get some kind of answer. Maybe the answer will not be perfect. Actually, the answer will not be perfect. But you will get some kind of an answer. You will at least get a tentative list of priorities. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These 6 things are important to me, and roughly I can say that item number 2 is more important than item number 5. You'll have to sit with yourself in a relaxed, calm way, collect yourself and ask, truly, keeping all the thrills and all the trash apart, what do I really want? What do I really want? And once that list is there, then commit yourself to the top items in that list. Search for them. Not that there cannot be anything more important than the stuff you have put on your list. But you cannot do better than what you're currently doing. The thing that still remains undisclosed to you will be revealed in due time. Till that time, you can do no better than doing justice to what you already know of. I know that I need to have awareness of what's happening to the environment, let's say, right? Is that one of your priorities? I do not know. It might be. Give me one nice thing you are convinced is important and worth knowing. Tell me, please. Sports, politics, environment, science, spirituality, literature, art, something.
Sir, currently it's knowing my my strengths and my weaknesses. So I'm really in the process of finding myself, and I was looking into what are the things which I can look into and dive deeper into.
So that connects 3 different fields.
Yeah.
Psychology, philosophy, spirituality. Psychology, philosophy, and spirituality. By spirituality, I do not mean spirits and all kinds of superstition. By spirituality, I simply mean self-knowledge. So these 3 fields. Now, once you know that these are the 3 things that as a youngster you are interested in, you have discovered these 3 things are important to you, what do you do next? Come on, I know that these 3 things are important, and now if I am a human being, I must live by my conviction.
Yes, sir, I try to find relevant information and
As
knowledge.
simple as that. That's what.
Yeah, but sir, there's also a different kind of question that arises. So
Yes,
I've been, in this self-discovery process for a while, and while I was in that process, I found that, okay, this is what I need. This is something I want to be. And when I've been there, when I've done that, I realized that no, this is not what I wanted in the first place, and
that's not just all right. That's actually great. Sorry, I forgot your name, please.
Samarth.
Samarth, that's just great. See, youth is the time to experiment and make mistakes. Didn't I say that the stuff that you will list down in your priority list will never be absolutely perfect? There would always be something higher, something better that remains yet undisclosed and hidden. But that's the thing. The process of learning is like going up a staircase, right? You keep your foot on the next step, on the next rung, and only then you discover how to move to the one beyond that, like a dimly lit staircase, right? You cannot look too far ahead of yourself. Only when you move ahead do you discover what lies further ahead. Correct? So that really cannot even be called a mistake, Samarth. With an open mind, with an inquisitive mind, you try something out. And if that attempt reveals to you that this is not the ultimate thing I'm looking for, then at least you have been able to strike out something from the list of available options, right? And that's not a mean thing. That's a blessing. To know clearly that this is not what you want. In Vedanta, that's the process of niti niti. The ultimate process of negation. To know what the truth is not. And it's not just about Vedanta enough. Even if you go to the ancient Greeks or to the more contemporary Western philosophers, the highest among them have said that the truth can be approached only via negation. It is not possible to go to the truth with your established set of internal affirmations. Because all affirmations are just the ego. Inquiry can at most result in negation. It's ego that results in affirmation. So the process has to be of negation, which is okay. With an honest intent, you tried something out, it didn't work out. You haven't failed. It's not a disappointment. And if that's a disappointment, then I have failed all my life. Because my entire journey has been of trying things out and then moving on. And there's a beauty to that. There is a beauty to not settling down at the wrong place. There is a beauty in having the courage to move on, even if that place beckons you via attachment, via relationships, via memories, adjustment and habit. Once you have been with something, all these things keep you in bondage via a certain stickiness, don't they? You want to stay there just because you have stayed there for long. No, move on. Once you know that a certain thing has yielded to you all that it could, honesty demands that you try out something higher, because the purpose of life is learning, a constant movement. You are not born to stagnate. There is no point called the final one. There is just no possibility of you ever becoming saturated with knowledge or realization. The potential to be bigger and better and more fulfilled and more joyful will remain right till your last breath. Are you getting it? And these things should never be considered as failures. Somebody who has settled down and made a home at some ordinary place, as most commoners do, as most worldly men do, cannot be called successful. Far more successful than such a person is someone who tried out 1,000 things out of which nothing succeeded. He was committed to excellence. He was experimenting. He was putting himself at risk. He was not saying that he is a sucker for security and stability and respect. He said, no security, everything is risked, and people will not respect me, the world will call me a failure, all that is okay. My job is to remain a traveler. Read that poem, Ithaka, and at just the most inopportune time, I have forgotten the name of the poet. Somebody help me, please. Ithaka. It's one of my favorite poems. And I have taught this poem as well. And this is very intimately linked to the question you are raising. Kawafi. Kawafi. Cavafy. Let me quote something from here. So, Ithaka is a place that young people set out to. It's a fabled place. And it's said that if you reach Ithaka, you'll find huge treasures there, and probably even all kinds of excitement and fame and glory and all that. And so Ithaka beckons, attracts. But it is said that it often happens that those who face all the obstacles and manage to reach Ithaka, they don't find anything there. Most people do not reach Ithaka because there are huge obstacles in the way. Some people indeed do manage. And when they reach there, they find that there is none of that fairy tale stuff there that was promised to them. And to those people, the poet says, and I'll quote from an earlier point. Keep Ithaka always in your mind. Arriving there is what you are destined for. But don't hurry the journey at all. Better if it lasts for years. So you are old by the time you reach the island. Wealthy with all you have gained on the way. Not expecting Ithaka to make you rich. It's the journey that has the riches, not the destination. And you cannot journey if you settle down too quickly. Ithaka gave you the marvelous journey. Without her, you wouldn't have set out. She has nothing left to give you now. The journey is all that there is. The journey is all that there is. So keep experimenting, keep trying, keep failing. It's okay. It's okay. And if you find her poor, Ithaka wouldn't have fooled you. Wise as you will have become, so full of experience, you'll have understood by then what these Ithakas mean. It should be a compulsory read, especially for young people. with your limited understanding, with your little experience, with your little and half knowledge, still set out, knowing fully well that you do not completely know who you are. You also do not completely know what the world and life are all about. You do not know anything perfectly. Still, you have nothing more than what you currently know, right? At this moment, you have nothing more than what you currently know. And put your finger on, bet on the best that you know of currently. With all your limitations, there is something that you hold as the highest, right? Commit yourself to it. But that commitment has to be conditional, in the sense that if you find something better than that along the way, you say, fine, thank you so much, you brought me till this point. Now I commit myself to that which I find the highest at this point, at this moment. So I'm constantly progressing from one step of the case to the next one, right? I'm not making a house here. I'm not saying I have arrived. I'm not saying my journey has ended. It's an infinite staircase. If at all I have a home, it is in the sky. Is this getting too poetic and abstract, Samarth?
No, sir, it's getting really interesting. So,
I have a follow-up question.
Sure.
I wanted to ask that YouTube videos full of information get lesser views. On the other hand, YouTube videos full of entertainment get more views. So my question is, isn't it justified to the content creators to upload videos which get more views? And if it is so, then why do we criticize them?
What do you mean?
Because they are doing their job.
Shubhra, you said, right?
Yes, sir.
Shubhra. What do you mean by justification? So let's say you are a video uploader. What do you mean by justification?
So I myself am a content creator.
Oh, you are. Good.
And yes. And I just meant to say that justified is like why when we are uploading videos full of entertainment, we are getting criticisms. So it's not justified to the content creators because they are getting views from that.
No, I understand. But as a content creator, the word creator is such an important word. A creator is an artist. A creator is the highest function one can perform. Creator. So, do you create for views and views only?
No. So I wanted to tell you one more thing. When I started to upload videos on Bhagavad Gita, I uploaded videos of so many verses of Bhagavad Gita and I talked, like, it was very useful and informative, but I got lesser views. But when I started to show people some big institutions and made vlogs that this is Hindu college, that is Hansraj college, so that those videos got so many views. So isn't it justified to me that I would upload those videos and not just...
I'll go back to that same word, justification. The word justice means setting something right. So justification has to be related to the rightness of something. So I'm somebody who uploads videos, let's say, right? Is it just for the sake of getting a particular number of views? I'll share a few other concerns with you. Who are these people who are watching my videos? 1 lakh people watching a particular video might be much more important than 10 lakh people watching some other video if the quality of these 1 lakh is far superior. That's one concern. Second, what is the impact of my video on the 10 lakh people who watch it? Are these things not important when it comes to justification. Unfortunately, YouTube will only show you the aggregate number of views. It will not tell you the quality of your audience, though that can be known through some indirect matrices that can be kind of judged. What is the quality of people who watch your video? You can, for example, look at the quality of comments. You can also look at some numbers in your dashboard, and you will come to know what approximately is the composition of your audience, where are they coming from, and all those things. You can also see what are the other videos and channels that your audience watches. That too is available to be seen in the dashboard, and you will realize that this is where my people are coming from. Now, is that not a source of satisfaction or dissatisfaction? What would you rather have? 2 great friends or a group of 20 hooligans?
Friends.
That's what. Now tell me, what is justified, 2 or 20?
So 2.
So that's what. Quality is more important than quantity. You go, for example, to J. Krishnamurthy's channel, and several videos there, probably most videos there, will not have even 1 lakh views. And you can go to the channels of the biggest YouTubers, and you know the kind of content there. So it is obvious that the number of followers or likes can only be of secondary importance. The first thing is something else. The artist is first of all accountable to herself, right? When you look at what you have created, first of all, you must be able to feel a certain pride. Or is it better to be ashamed of what you have created, though your video is awash with views? Your video has 2 million views, and you cannot bear to look at your own video. Would you want to be in that situation? Unfortunately, that's the situation most people are in. Most of these so-called content creators cannot tolerate their own videos. It's just that the quality of the audience is so poor that the more mediocre and vulgar your video is, the more views it's likely to fetch. Don't get into that. Remember, 2 is bigger than 20. Quality matters. And also there is no need to be cynical, Shubhra. It's not that the world is totally empty of good people. They are not in a majority, we concede. But it's not as if good people are nowhere to be found. We all are looking for a rarity, are we not? We are not looking for the majority. At no point do you look for the majority. You are enrolled in a great college, a good course probably, and you would have seen only a tiny minority gaining admission to your course. I do not know the details, I'm speculating. So out of 1,000 people who would have applied, let's say no more than 10, 20, 50 would have gained admission. That's what would have happened, right? So would you want to be with the minority or the majority? Remember, the majority was denied admission. Remember, the majority was denied admission. It's the minority always that is important. It's the minority that matters, and it's that rarity, not the abundance, that we all are looking for. You will want to pursue a career. Will you want to take up any kind of job that comes your way, or will you be selective and choosy?
Selective.
So that's it. You want that 1 among the 10. And 9 out of 10 are always fit to be just rejected. Right? You will probably choose a friend or a partner at some point. You might already, we all are making friends since we are kids. Do you make friends with just about anybody? Or are you quite choosy in that? You want to say, my fellow is hazaron mein ek. 1 in 1,000, right? That's what you want for yourself. Then why don't you want the same thing for your video? You should actively wish that 999 out of 1,000 people refuse your video. Because your video too has to be 1 in 1,000. In some sense, it can be a reason to celebrate if only worthy people watch your videos. Let your video be the touchstone of worthiness. You should be able to say, not everyone comes to my channel. Only very special people come to my channel. I do not mean to say that you should consciously avoid getting views. No, that's not the assertion. The point I'm trying to make is, it's not crowds that you should be after. It's quality you should pursue. And if you are pursuing quality, remember that good people exist even though they are in a minority. You'll get sufficient number of views. You'll get a good quality audience to be with. And that's a great pleasure to have in life. The company of good people. No?
Right, sir. Thank you so much.